Welcome back to Kibtech's English Learning Story Series. In our previous episodes, we followed David, a newcomer in Canada, as he learned to speak up at work, make friends, and integrate into society. He discovered that English is not only for grammar, it is a key for life. Today, we continue his journey. In this new chapter of his life, David faces bigger responsibilities. Keeping his family safe, protecting his home, understanding rules, and managing important documents. In each situation, David will need English, not perfect English, but courageous English. And you will learn with him. This is not only a story. It is a practical guide for communication. It is a reflection of real life. It is an invitation for you to practice English with confidence. So let's walk with David once again. And remember, if you want to speak English fluently in just 3 months, check the link in the description to join Kibtech Complete Training Program, based on the Baby Learning Method. Chapter 1, A Late Night Concern. Talking to a police officer. One cool evening, David was walking home from the bus stop. The streets were quiet, the lamps glowing softly. Suddenly, he noticed a man moving slowly between parked cars, looking inside. David's heart beat faster. Is this normal? Or is he trying to steal? He thought about ignoring it, but then remembered what he had learned in his English class. Always speak up when something looks suspicious. He saw a police officer standing at the corner. Taking a deep breath, he walked over. David, excuse me, officer. I'd like to report some suspicious activity. Police officer, thank you. Can you describe what you saw? David, yes. A man was looking inside cars. He seemed suspicious. Near Maple Street. The officer nodded, writing in a notebook. Police officer, that's very helpful. We'll check it out right away. Thank you for letting us know. David exhaled in relief. His words were simple, but they worked. Walking home, he thought, this is English in action. Not grammar, not a textbook, real English that helps me protect my community. That night, he wrote in his journal, new words today. Suspicious activity, report, describe. Next time, I will feel even stronger. Chapter 2, Learning the Rules of the Road. David had been in Canada for several months. He was starting to feel more comfortable with English in his daily life. He could go shopping, talk to his neighbors, and even ask questions at work. But one important thing was still missing. David did not have a Canadian driver's license. In his country, he used to drive every day. He drove to work, to visit his family, to go shopping. Driving gave him independence and freedom. But here in Canada, things were different. The rules of the road were not the same. The signs were different, the speed limits were different, and, of course, all the instructions were in English. One Saturday morning, David told himself, if I want to live fully in Canada, I must learn the rules of the road. I need to understand them in English. I need to pass my driving test. Enrolling in a driving course. David went online and searched, driving school near me. He found one close to his apartment and called. Receptionist, hello, Maple Driving School. How can I help you? David, nervous. Hello, I am new in Canada. I want to learn driving rules. Receptionist, perfect. We have a beginner's course. The first class is on Monday evening. Can you join? David, relieved, yes, Monday is good. Thank you. On Monday, David entered the small classroom. About 10 students were sitting at desks. Some were newcomers like him. Others were young Canadians preparing for their first license. The instructor, Mr. Thomas, greeted everyone. Welcome. Today we will start with the basic rules of the road in Canada. Driving is not only about controlling the car. It is also about safety, respect, and responsibility. David opened his notebook. He was ready. The red light lesson, Mr. Thomas showed a big picture of a traffic light. Rule number 1, stop at the red light. Always. Even if the road is empty, you must stop. David wrote in his notebook, red light equals stop. The instructor continued, at the green light, you can go. At the yellow light, you must slow down and prepare to stop. David repeated softly, red equals stop. Green equals go. Yellow equals slow down. The instructor smiled. Exactly. Very simple, but very important. These 3 colors can save lives. Pedestrians and crosswalks next. Mr. Thomas showed a picture of a crosswalk. Rule number 2, always yield to pedestrians. David raised his hand. Excuse me, teacher. Do I always stop at crosswalks? Yes, David, the instructor answered. If someone is crossing the street or even waiting to cross, you must stop. Pedestrians have the right of way. David repeated in his notebook, yield to pedestrians equals let people cross first. The instructor added, if you don't stop, you can get a fine. Or worse, you can hurt someone. Safety comes first. David thought, this is different from my country. I must be careful. School zones. Mr. Thomas showed another picture, a yellow sign with 2 children walking. This means school zone. In Canada, you must reduce your speed when you see this sign, usually to 30 or 40 kilometers per hour. David asked, even if no children are outside? Yes, Mr. Thomas explained. Because children can appear suddenly. Maybe running. Maybe chasing a ball. Drivers must always be careful near schools. David wrote again, school zone equals slow down, always careful. He imagined his own son walking to school. Suddenly, the rule felt personal. Stop signs. The instructor showed the famous red octagon, stop. In Canada, stop means stop completely, not slow down, not half stop. You must stop fully, look both ways, and then go when it is safe. David remembered. In his country, many drivers slowed but did not stop fully. He smiled. Okay, here I must be more disciplined. Dialogue practice. After explaining, Mr. Thomas asked the students to practice small dialogues in pairs. David was paired with Maria, a woman from Mexico. Maria, what do you do at a red light? David, stop. Always stop. Maria, good. And what do you do at a crosswalk? David, yield to pedestrians. Let people cross first. Maria, excellent. And at a stop sign. David, stop completely. Look both ways. Go when safe. They both laughed. The sentences were simple, but powerful. First driving practice. A week later, it was time to drive with the instructor. David sat in the driver's seat. His hands were shaking a little. Relax, said Mr. Thomas. We'll start slowly. Just remember the rules. As they drove, the instructor asked questions. Mr. Thomas, there's a red light. What do you do? David, stop. Mr. Thomas, good. Now the light is green. What do you do? David, go. They reached a crosswalk where a woman was waiting. Mr. Thomas, and here? David, stop. Yield to the pedestrian. Perfect, said the instructor. You are learning fast. David felt proud. He realized his English lessons were helping him understand not only words, but also actions that could save lives. Reflection that night. David sat at his desk and wrote in his journal. Today, I learned new words. Yield, pedestrian, crosswalk, school zone, stop sign. These are not just English words. They are words for safety. They protect children, families, and me. English is not only communication. English is survival. He looked out the window at the quiet Canadian street. He smiled. One day soon, I will drive here with confidence. And every rule I follow, every word I learned, will keep me and others safe. Chapter 3. Staying Prepared. David was beginning to feel more comfortable in Canada. He had his job, his new apartment, and he was learning to drive. But one evening, while reading a flyer from the community center, he saw a title that made him curious. Emergency Preparedness Workshop, free for newcomers. David thought, emergency? Preparedness? What does that mean? In my country, I never went to a workshop like this. Should I go? He decided yes. He wanted to be ready for anything. At the community center on Saturday morning, David arrived at the community center. The room was full of people from many countries. Some had just arrived in Canada. Others had been living here for years. At the front, a coordinator named Ms. Lee smiled warmly. Good morning, everyone. Today we will talk about how to stay safe during an emergency, an earthquake, a fire, a flood, or even a storm. These things can happen in Canada. It's important to be prepared. David listened carefully. He knew some of the words, but others were new. Ms. Lee wrote 3 big rules on the board. 1. Have an emergency kit. 2. Follow evacuation routes. 3. Stay calm. Rule 1. Have an emergency kit. Ms. Lee held up a big backpack. This is an emergency kit. What do you think is inside? People called out answers. Water. Food. Flashlight. Yes, she said. An emergency kit must have water, food, flashlight, batteries, a first aid kit, and copies of important documents. David repeated to himself, emergency kit. Water, food, flashlight, batteries, first aid. He wrote the words in his notebook. Ms. Lee looked at him. David, what about medicine? Should we put medicine in the kit? David answered slowly, yes. Medicine for the family. Important medicine. Exactly, Ms. Lee said with a smile. Perfect answer. David felt proud. His English had helped him participate. Rule 2. Follow evacuation routes. Ms. Lee showed a big map of the community center with arrows. These arrows are evacuation routes. In case of fire or earthquake, you must follow these arrows to go outside safely. She asked the group, does everyone know the exit near their home or workplace? David thought about his apartment. He realized he had only one exit, the front door. He raised his hand. Excuse me. In my apartment, only one exit. What can I do? Ms. Lee answered, good question. If there is only one exit, stay low, cover your mouth with a cloth if there is smoke, and call for help. But always check your building for emergency plans. Many buildings have posted evacuation routes. David nodded. He made a mental note. Check the building tomorrow. Rule 3. Stay calm. Finally, Ms. Lee said, the most important rule is stay calm. If you panic, you make mistakes. If you stay calm, you can think and act. She gave an example. During an earthquake, don't run. Drop, cover, and hold on. During a fire, don't take the elevator. Use the stairs. David repeated softly. Stay calm. Drop, cover, hold on. Use the stairs, not the elevator. Practice activity. The group practiced together. Ms. Lee said, imagine there is an earthquake. What do you do? Everyone answered, drop, cover, hold on. Good. Now imagine a fire in your building. What do you do? David spoke loudly. Follow evacuation route. Use stairs, not elevator. The group clapped. After the workshop at the end, Ms. Lee handed out small brochures with pictures and simple English explanations. She said, take this home. Talk to your family. Prepare your emergency kit together. David thanked her. Thank you very much. Today, I learned many new words. Emergency kit, evacuation, preparedness. She replied kindly, excellent, David. Remember, English is not only for work or school. English can save your life. Reflection. On his way home, David felt thoughtful. In his home country, he never worried about earthquakes or floods. But in Canada, things were different. He needed to be ready. That evening, he sat with his notebook and wrote new words: emergency kit, evacuation, route, flashlight, batteries, first aid, stay calm. He looked around his apartment. I don't have an emergency kit yet, he said to himself. Tomorrow I will buy water, canned food, and a flashlight. My family must be safe. That night before sleeping, David whispered, English is not only a language. It is a survival tool. Today, it taught me how to protect my life and the people I love. Chapter 4. A Lost Wallet. It was a bright afternoon in early spring. David had just finished his shift at work and decided to stop by the supermarket on his way home. He needed milk, bread, and some vegetables for dinner. The store was busy, full of people pushing carts and talking. David walked quickly, humming to himself. After paying at the cashier, he put his groceries in a bag and reached into his pocket for his wallet. Suddenly, his heart dropped. The wallet was not there. He checked the other pocket. Nothing. He opened his bag. Nothing. He even looked on the floor. Still nothing. David whispered to himself, "Oh no. My wallet. Where is my wallet?" Realization. David felt panic rising. His wallet was small and black. Inside were his bank card, some cash, his bus pass, and even his new Canadian ID. Losing it would be a big problem. He took a deep breath and told himself, "Stay calm. I must think clearly. When did I last use it?" He remembered using his wallet at the cashier just 5 minutes ago. He quickly went back to the counter. "David, excuse me. Did you see a wallet here? I think I lost mine." "Cashier, let me check. No, I don't see any wallet here. Did you drop it in the store?" David shook his head slowly. "I don't know. Maybe outside. Maybe on the bus." The cashier looked sorry. "You should go to customer service." Sometimes people return lost items there. At customer service, David hurried to the service desk. David, hello. I lost my wallet. Did anyone bring a wallet here? Clerk, I'm sorry, sir. We haven't received any wallet today. Could you describe it? David answered carefully. Yes. It is small black leather. Inside ID card, bus pass, credit card, and some cash. The clerk shook her head. No, nothing like that has been turned in. I suggest you report it to the police. David's hands trembled. The police? Can I do this in English? He thought about his classes. He remembered phrases like, I'd like to report, and can you describe? He decided to be brave. At the police station. The police station was a short walk from the supermarket. David entered slowly, holding his bag of groceries tightly. At the front desk sat an officer in uniform. David swallowed his fear and spoke politely. David, excuse me. I'd like to report a lost item. I think my wallet was stolen. Officer. Okay, sir. Can you describe the wallet for me? David. Yes. Small black leather. Inside my ID card, my bus pass, my bank card, and cash. Officer. Where did you last see it? David. At the supermarket near the cashier. Maybe I dropped it. Or maybe someone took it. The officer wrote everything down. Officer. Thank you. We will make a report. Please give me your phone number. If someone returns the wallet, we will call you. David gave his number. Thank you, officer. The officer nodded. You did the right thing. Many times, wallets are returned. Don't lose hope. Feelings. As David left the station, his feelings were mixed. He was worried about his bank card and ID, but also proud. He had explained everything in English. His words were not perfect, but the officer understood. David thought, English helped me report a problem. This is real life. This is survival. At the bank. The next morning, David decided to go to his bank. He wanted to protect his money. David, hello. I lost my wallet yesterday. My bank card was inside. What should I do? Bank clerk, don't worry, sir, we will cancel your old card and give you a new one. Can I see some identification? David showed his passport. The clerk canceled his card and printed a temporary one. Bank clerk, your new permanent card will arrive by mail in 2 weeks. Please be careful. David, yes, thank you. I will. David felt relieved. Step by step, the problem was getting smaller. Talking with a neighbor. That evening, David spoke to his neighbor, Mrs. Chun. She was kind and experienced in Canadian life. David, hello, Mrs. Chun. I lost my wallet. I went to the police and to the bank. Mrs. Chun, oh no, I'm sorry. But you did the right things. Did you also call the bus company? Sometimes wallets are found on buses. David, good idea. I will call them tomorrow. Mrs. Chun smiled. Don't worry. Even if you don't get it back, you have learned how to deal with problems. That is also important. David nodded. He realized she was right. Reflection later that night. David opened his notebook and wrote, new words today. Wallet, report, describe, stolen, identification, cancel, permanent, temporary. He also wrote a sentence to himself. Even in problems, I can learn. Every mistake, every challenge teaches me new English. A week later, David received a phone call. Officer, hello, David? We have good news. Someone returned your wallet. Please come to the station to collect it. David's heart leaped. Really? Thank you so much. When he picked it up, he noticed some money was missing, but his ID and bus pass were still inside. He felt grateful. As he walked home, he smiled to himself. In Canada, even losing a wallet became an English lesson. I was scared, but I survived. I can handle problems. I am stronger than before. Chapter 5, Feeling Safer. In the neighborhood after the experience of losing his wallet, David felt nervous whenever he walked home at night. He often checked his pockets again and again just to make sure his new wallet was still there. He even avoided some streets because they felt too dark or too quiet. One evening, while David was taking out the garbage, his neighbor Mr. Patel waved at him. Mr. Patel. Hello, David. How are you? David hesitant. I am okay, but sometimes I feel nervous in the neighborhood at night. Mr. Patel. Nervous? Why? David. Because last week I lost my wallet. I'm not sure if it was stolen. I worry about safety. Mr. Patel nodded kindly. I understand. But don't worry too much. Our neighborhood is usually safe. Did you know we have community patrols? David looked confused. Community patrols? What is that? Mr. Patel. A patrol is a group of volunteers. They walk or drive around the neighborhood to check if everything is okay. If they see something unusual, they contact the police. David repeated slowly. Community patrols. Volunteers. Unusual. Meeting the patrol. The next day, Mr. Patel introduced David to Mrs. Green, one of the patrol coordinators. She was an older woman with a bright smile and a reflective vest. Mrs. Green. Hello, David. Welcome to the neighborhood. Don't worry. We are here to help everyone feel safe. David. Thank you. Can you tell me more about the patrol? Mrs. Green. Of course. We walk around in pairs during the evening. We carry flashlights and phones. If we see something suspicious, we don't act alone. We call the police. Safety first. David nodded carefully. Suspicious. Like someone looking into cars. Mrs. Green smiled. Yes, exactly. Or someone behaving strangely or trying to open doors. David remembered his first time speaking to a police officer. Now, the same words appeared again. Suspicious activity, patrol, report. The vocabulary was becoming part of his daily life. A walk around the block. That evening, David decided to join a short walk with the patrol. He wore a reflective vest and carried a small flashlight. Walking with Mrs. Green and another neighbor, Ahmed, he felt both nervous and proud. Ahmed, don't worry, David. It's not dangerous. We just walk, look, and stay alert. David, yes. Stay alert. Report problems. Safety first. As they walked, Mrs. Green explained. See that sign? It says Neighborhood Watch. It means people here are watching out for each other. David repeated, Neighborhood Watch. Watching out for each other. The words made him feel stronger. He realized he was not alone. Talking to the police. Again, halfway through the walk, they saw a police car slowly passing. The officer rolled down the window. Officer, good evening, everyone. How's everything tonight? Mrs. Green, all good, officer. Just a normal patrol. She turned to David. David, would you like to say something? David felt his heart beat faster, but he took the chance. David, good evening, officer. Thank you for your work. I feel safe because of you and the patrol. The officer smiled. That's good to hear. Welcome to the community, David. For David, it was a small moment, but very important. He had spoken clearly, politely, and confidently to authority again. Reflection at home. Back at his apartment, David sat at his table and opened his notebook. He wrote new words: patrol, suspicious, report, community, neighborhood watch. Then he wrote a sentence. Every new word I learn makes me stronger. Safety is not only about police. It is about community. He thought about his own country. Their safety often depended only on the police. But here, neighbors worked together. People volunteered to protect each other. He whispered to himself, "This is not just English learning. This is learning how to live in Canada." The following morning, David met another neighbor, Anna, near the mailbox. Anna, "Hi, David. I saw you with the patrol last night. How was it?" David, "It was good. I learned new words: patrol, suspicious, report. And I feel more safe now." Anna, "That's great. Safety is important for everyone. Welcome to the team." David smiled. He felt proud of himself. That evening, while locking his door, David looked around the street. Children were playing, neighbors were chatting, and the patrol was walking by. He felt calm for the first time in weeks. Losing his wallet had been difficult, but it had also taught him something important. Every problem could become a lesson. Every fear could become strength. And English was always there, not only in books, but in the voices of neighbors, in the words of safety, and in the trust of community. Chapter 6. Protecting his home. David had finally moved into his own small apartment in Canada. It wasn't big, but it was clean, bright, and most importantly, it felt like home. He bought a simple sofa, a table, and some chairs. For the first time since arriving in Canada, he felt settled. But one evening, while watching the news, David saw a report about break-ins in another part of the city. The word break-in was new to him. He looked up. Break-in equals when someone enters a home illegally. His heart sank. What if this happens to me? I live alone. I must protect my home. Visiting a security consultant. The next day, David went to a local security company. At the reception, a consultant named Mr. Johnson welcomed him. "Mr. Johnson, hello. How can I help you today?" "David, hello. I want to protect my home. I want alarms, maybe cameras." "Mr. Johnson, perfect. We have many options. Let's sit down and talk." They sat at a desk with brochures full of pictures and descriptions. "Mr. Johnson, we offer 3 main security packages: basic, standard, and premium." "David, package? What is package?" "Mr. Johnson, good question. A package means a group of services or products together. For example, the basic package includes door, alarms, and window sensors." David repeated slowly. Package equals group of services, door alarms, and window sensors. Learning new vocabulary. Mr. Johnson continued. Door alarm, a small device on your door. If someone opens the door without permission, the alarm makes a loud sound. Window sensor detects if a window is opened or broken. Camera system records video of your entrance or rooms. Monitoring service. Our team watches your house 24/7. If the alarm goes off, we call the police. David listened carefully, repeating each word. Door alarm. Window sensor. Camera. Monitoring service. Choosing an option. David, how much is the basic package? Mr. Johnson, $20 per month. David, and standard? Mr. Johnson, $35 per month. It includes door alarms, window sensors, and one camera. David, and premium? Mr. Johnson, $50 per month. It includes everything, alarms, sensors, cameras, plus monitoring services. David thought for a moment. I live in small apartment. Maybe standard is enough. Mr. Johnson nodded. Yes, standard is good for apartments. Do you want to add monitoring services? David hesitated. Monitoring? You call police if problem. Mr. Johnson, exactly. We call immediately. David smiled. Yes, I want that. I want to feel safe. Installing the system. 2 days later, a technician came to David's apartment. Technician, hello, I'm here to install your alarm system. David, thank you. Please come in. The technician explained while working. This is the control panel. You use it to turn the alarm on or off. This is the sensor for your window. If someone opens it, the alarm will beep. This is your camera. It connects to your phone. You can see your apartment from anywhere. David repeated each word, writing it in his notebook. Control panel. Sensor. Camera. Phone app. After the installation, the technician tested the system. Let's try. I will open the door. The alarm rang loudly. Beep. 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 David jumped, then laughed. Wow. Very loud. Good protection. First night with the alarm. That night, before going to bed, David turned on the alarm. At first, he felt nervous. What if it makes noise for nothing? But after a while, he felt calm. He whispered to himself, now I can sleep in peace. English words gave me this: alarm, sensor, monitoring. They are not just words. They are safety. Conversation with a friend the next day. David met his colleague Sarah at lunch. Sarah, you look happy today, David. What happened? David, I installed security system. Now my apartment has alarms, sensors, and a camera. I feel safe. Sarah, that's great. Do you pay a lot? David, not too much. $35 per month. Plus monitoring. If alarm goes off, they call police. Sarah, wow, that's very responsible of you. David smiled proudly. He was not only learning English, but also building a secure life in Canada. Reflection that evening. David opened his notebook and wrote, new words, package, alarm, sensor, camera, monitoring, control panel, install. He added, protecting my home is protecting my future. English gives me the words to ask questions, understand services, and feel safe. Later that week, David's phone buzzed. It was the new security app. It showed a notification. System armed. Home is protected. David smiled and whispered, in Canada, safety is not only about strong locks. It is also about knowledge. English gave me the power to ask, to choose, to protect. And for the first time since moving into his apartment, he slept without worry. Chapter 7, School Safety for his son. Life in Canada was slowly becoming more stable for David. He had a small apartment, a steady job, and more confidence with English. But even with these steps forward, something was missing. His heart often felt empty when he came home at night. That is why, after many months of preparation, David made an important decision. He arranged for his son, Daniel, to join him in Canada. It was not easy. There were papers to sign, money to save, and waiting times to respect. But finally, one sunny morning, Daniel arrived. For David, it was a moment of deep joy. No longer would he face this new country completely alone. Now he was not only a worker and a newcomer. He was a father again, with a child to protect and guide. Soon after, Daniel started school. It was a big moment for him. Daniel was excited about new friends, new books, and new games. But for David, it was also a little scary. School was different here. The system, the rules, even the safety procedures were not the same as in his home country. One Monday morning, David received an email from the school. Subject: Parent Orientation, School Safety Procedures. The message said, "Dear parents, please join us on Thursday at 6 p.m. for a short session on school safety. We will explain fire drills, lockdowns, and medical emergencies." David read the words again. Fire drill, lockdown, medical emergency. He didn't understand everything. He looked them up in his dictionary. Fire drill equals practice for when there is a fire. Lockdown equals when students must stay in classrooms because of danger outside. Medical emergency equals when a student is sick or hurt and needs help. David wrote them in his notebook. He thought, this is important. My son's safety depends on my understanding. I must listen carefully. At the orientation, on Thursday evening, David walked into the school gym. Many parents were sitting on chairs, and children were playing nearby. The principal, Mrs. Carter, stood in front with a microphone. It is protection. If there is a fire or something bad, the insurance company pays to replace our things. Daniel: So if my books burn in a fire, they give me new ones? David: Yes, exactly. Daniel laughed. Good. I like insurance. Reflection. That night, David wrote in his notebook new words: insurance, belongings, coverage, premium, policy, claim. Then he added, in Canada, insurance is important. It protects my home, my family, and my peace of mind. English gave me the words to understand and choose. Now I feel safer. While relaxing in his apartment, David looked around at his furniture, his son's toys, and his laptop. He felt a new sense of peace. He whispered, this is not just about money. It is about security. With English, I can protect my family. With insurance, I can protect my home. This is my new life. Chapter 9. Covering all needs. David was feeling more confident in Canada. He now had tenant insurance for his apartment. It gave him peace of mind, knowing his belongings were protected. But one day, during lunch at work, his colleague Mark asked him a simple question. Mark: Hey David, do you have auto insurance for your car? David: Auto insurance? No, not yet. I don't even have a Canadian license yet. Mark, when you get your license and buy a car, you must have insurance. It's the law in Canada. David was curious. It's the law? What happens if you don't have insurance? Mark, if you drive without insurance, you can get a big fine. And if there is an accident, you have to pay everything yourself. Insurance protects you, your car, and other people. David nodded slowly. He thought, in Canada, insurance is not optional. It is necessary. I must learn about this now, before I get my car. Visiting an insurance office. The next Saturday, David visited an insurance office downtown. A friendly agent, Ms. Lopez, greeted him. Ms. Lopez, good morning. How can I help you today? David, hello. I am new in Canada. I want to learn about auto insurance and health insurance. Can you explain? Ms. Lopez, of course. Let's start with auto insurance. Auto insurance. Ms. Lopez showed David a chart. Ms. Lopez, auto insurance has different parts. 1. Liability coverage. Pays if you hurt someone or damage their car. 2. Collision coverage. Pays if your car is damaged in an accident. 3. Comprehensive coverage. Pays if your car is damaged by other things, like fire, theft, or hail. David repeated softly. Liability. Collision. Comprehensive. David. So liability is for other people. Collision is for my car in accident. Comprehensive is for fire or theft. Ms. Lopez. Exactly. You understood perfectly. She added, in Ontario, liability insurance is mandatory. You must have it. Collision and comprehensive are optional, but many people choose them for extra protection. David nodded. He thought, in Canada, the rules are clear. I must follow them. Asking about cost. David, how much does auto insurance cost? Miss Lopez, it depends on many things, your age, your driving experience, your car, and even your neighborhood. For a new driver like you, it could be around $200 per month. David's eyes widened. $200 per month? That is expensive. Ms. Lopez smiled. Yes, but remember, it protects you from very big costs. Without insurance, an accident can cost thousands of dollars. David sighed, then smiled. Better to pay $200 than $20,000. Health insurance after auto insurance. David asked about health. David, I also want to ask. Health insurance. I know Canada has public health. But what about dental and eyes? Ms. Lopez, good question. In Canada, basic health care is covered by the government. You don't pay for doctor visits or hospital stays. But dental care, eye care, and some medicines are not covered. That's why many people buy private health insurance. David wrote in his notebook, dental equals teeth. Vision equals eyes. Medicine equals drugs or prescriptions. David. So private health insurance helps with dentist, glasses, medicine? Ms. Lopez. Exactly. It usually includes dental checkups and cleanings. Vision care, like eye exams and glasses. Prescription drugs. Sometimes physiotherapy or massage. David thought about his son. Daniel needed glasses. In his home country, he always had to pay a lot for them. David, how much is health insurance? Ms. Lopez, for one person, maybe $100 per month. For a family, maybe $250. It depends on the plan. David smiled. I think this is good. I want to protect my family. Conversation with a friend. That evening, David called his friend Ahmed, another newcomer. David, Ahmed, do you have health insurance? Ahmed, yes, my employer gives me a benefits package. It includes dental and vision. It's very helpful. David, benefits package? What is that? Ahmed, it means extra things from the job, like health insurance, retirement plans, or vacation. Some companies offer it. David repeated, benefits package equals extra things from job. Insurance, retirement, vacation. Reflection. Later, David sat at his desk and opened his notebook. He wrote new words: liability, collision, comprehensive, mandatory, dental, vision, prescription, benefits package. He added, in Canada, insurance covers not only my house, but also my car, my health, and my family. English gives me the power to understand my responsibilities and my rights. Walking home from the insurance office, David looked at the cars on the street and the families walking together. He thought, in my first months in Canada, I worried about language, about friends, about work. Now I see another part of life: protection. Insurance is not only money. It is security for me and my son. And thanks to English, I can ask, I can understand, and choose. He smiled, holding his notebook tightly. Every new word makes me stronger. Every lesson makes me safer. This is my new Canadian life. Chapter 10, Understanding the Bill. It had been 3 weeks since David signed his home insurance policy and started reading about auto and health insurance. One afternoon, he opened his mailbox and saw an envelope with a logo of his insurance company. Inside was his first insurance bill. David looked at the paper carefully. At the top it said, amount due, $35. Due date, 15th of the month. Premium, $35. 00 coverage. Full tenant insurance. David read the words again. Some he knew. Some were still confusing. Premium equals the money he pays every month. Coverage equals the protection he receives. Due date equals the last day to pay. Still, he wasn't 100% sure. He thought, I must understand every detail. This is important. I will call the insurance company. Calling the agent. David picked up the phone and dialed the number. After a short wait, an agent answered. Agent, good afternoon. This is Lisa from Maple Insurance. How can I help you? David. Hello, my name is David. I am a new client. I received my first bill today. I want to understand it better, please. Agent. Of course, David. Can you read what it says? David. Amount due, $35. Premium, $35. Coverage, full tenant insurance. Agent. Perfect. That means your monthly premium, the money you pay each month, is $35. This payment keeps your policy active. David repeated. Premium equals monthly payment. Keeps policy active. David. And coverage? Agent. Coverage means what the insurance protects. In your case, it covers your belongings, fire, theft, and water damage. David smiled. It was becoming clear. Asking more questions, David decided to ask more. David, on the bill I see due date. What does it mean? Agent, due date means the last day you must pay. If you don't pay by that date, your policy may be canceled. David, canceled? That means no protection. Agent, yes, exactly. No protection if you don't pay. David wrote in his notebook, due date equals last day to pay. Canceled equals no protection. Payment options. David, how can I pay? By cash. Agent, we accept different methods. You can pay online with your bank, you can use a debit card, or we can take the money automatically each month. That is called automatic payment. David, automatic payment? Like every month the bank pays for me? Agent, yes, correct. It is easier for many clients. David thought for a moment. I think automatic is good. I don't want to forget. Agent, excellent choice. I will send you a form to set up. Talking with his son. That evening, David explained everything to Daniel. Daniel, Dad, what is a bill? David, a bill is a paper that tells you how much money you must pay. Daniel, and premium? David, premium is the money we pay every month for insurance. It keeps our protection active. Daniel, and coverage? David, coverage means what the insurance pays for, like fire or theft. Daniel laughed. Wow, Dad, you are like a teacher now. David smiled. Maybe one day. For now, I am still a student. Reflection that night. David opened his notebook and wrote, new words, bill, premium, coverage, due date, automatic payment, cancel. Then he added, understanding the bill is not only about money. It is about responsibility. In Canada, paying on time is very important. English helps me read, ask, and understand. Practice at the store. A few days later, David went to the grocery store. At the cashier, the woman said, Cashier, here is your bill. Sir, David smiled to himself. Now he understood. The word bill is not only for insurance. It is also for shopping, electricity, internet, and more. Bills are part of daily life. Closing scene. Now I understand them. English gives me control. Conclusion, your story too. David's journey shows something important. English is not only grammar or textbooks. English is life. It helps you talk to police, protect your children, drive safely, pay bills, and feel part of the community. Maybe you are like David, sometimes afraid, sometimes nervous. But step by step, you can grow stronger. Every new word gives you more freedom. Every sentence you speak builds more confidence. At Kibtech, we believe you can do the same. Speak English with courage. Learn in simple, practical ways. Transform your life in Canada or anywhere. Do you want to speak English fluently in just 3 months? Join Kibtech's complete training program with a baby learning method. It's designed for newcomers, busy parents, workers, for you. Click the link in the description to register. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more free English learning stories. Share this video with friends who also want to grow. And remember, you don't need perfect English. You need brave English. Like David, you can use English every day to live, to grow, to succeed. This is your time. Let's walk together. Welcome to Kibtech.